And all right, everybody, welcome to the end of the day show with Vamp and Big Chone. Excited to be here again. Seriously, we're just gonna have to make this the Vamp Chone show or the Chony Vamp show or the Vanny Chonis show or something like that. So as long as we don't have to do the show topless, we'll be doing it for as long as we possibly can. So listen, everybody, we have got some pretty exciting announcements to make out there. Let's kind of bring up one of the things. So we have brought in the Chone. So we have brought the Chone to the dark side, right? So here he is. We have now brought the Chone to the dark side. He is going to have his own channel. It is inside of our... he's now got his own VIP channel. It's over in our Discord. Super, super, super excited to announce this. So Chone is over here. Here's his own channel. You got the Big Chonis trading channel. He's going to have all his videos. He's going to have a lot, all his in-depth stuff. And listen, this guy, seriously, I thought I was online a lot. Dude, Chone seriously makes me look like a full-blown internet sissy, okay? Like, this guy has got, I don't know what he does. I thought I didn't sleep much. We were both up till like 5 a.m. last night. The guy's a champ. So we do have the new Chone VIP area that is now open. Do we have some super, super excited members? This is how this works. So, basically... you come in, you get the Chone show. Now that includes you get all the indicators, you get all of you get the beast indicator, you guys get the live streams. We're trying to convince Chonis to get a 24/7 live stream going. We're adding another live stream right now. We have our calls channel, and let me guys tell you what, KK is doing an amazing, amazing job in the calls channel over here. Look at the great content that KK is throwing up. Let's pull this down. Here's the calls channel. KK's got some really, really great calls in here that he's doing. He's doing a great job. So we do have a signals channel that we have added. You get this included with the Chonis package. You get all the videos, all the streaming videos. You get the beast indicator. You get so much good stuff. It's really just a home run. And we just keep making this package better and better and better. And our members just keep getting more and more and more. Everybody is super excited about it. Now the Chone spot is we're gonna open this up for 50 spots. So my first 50 filled pretty quickly, and I am actually getting to a limit. One of the things we wanted to bring the Chone in for is because I am like almost overwhelmed in my chat. I'm trying to limit the amount of people I get in my group. That's why this is awesome that Chone is here. He can take a lot of weight off of me. Hopefully I can, work as a partnership with him. Listen, he has full access to my channel. I have full access to his channel. You guys are going to get the dynamic duo of doom, right? It's like a unicorn eating Skittles flying over a rainbow. Right? I mean, you guys it just can't even get any better than this. It's absolutely amazing. We're super excited. So there's my 2-minute shill. I'm so excited. We've been working on this now for a couple days. We've been working on bringing the Chone in, and he finally accepted and came to the dark side. It took a little bit of, I had to send out a small army of female midget strippers to his house. They did surround it. They said, come out with your pants down or else. He did give up at that point.
They're very persuasive.
We were very persuasive. So we're super, super excited. The guy has such amazing content. He'll have all his charts in there. He'll have live charts. He'll have all of his content in there. He'll be in there 24/7. You guys get direct one-on-one Chone chat, just like mine. And you guys, listen, let me show you, I'll show you how my chat works. And I'm super excited to have Chone's chat. So here's my VIP chat. I mean, you guys, look, I mean, I am in here. I'm the red one. I am non-stop 24 hours a day in my chat. And I expect nothing different from Chone. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we are constantly in here updating our charts. putting all the news in there. We're putting all the great information for all the members. And we get a lot of charts you guys don't ever see, like this chart I created today. This is the chart I created earlier, and this is a pattern I found. I found this pattern. It's called 3-2. So it's a 3-2 bull bear count. And this is a pretty crazy thing I came up with. And I discovered another pattern. It's called the 3-2 pattern, right? And this 3-2 pattern shows you bear and or bull movements. And it's just like, this is the kind of stuff you get in our chats. You get 24 hours a day. I really am excited. This also means you guys are going to get full access to the Chon when we do the crypto campus, which we did push out. So we are going to move the crypto campus to March and April. Yeah, we'll let you guys know what's going on with that. So I'm going to start this off really quick, just kind of going to go through some of my calls I had yesterday. So if you guys saw on my Twitter, I posted up, hey, leading, expanding, diagonal. I put this up. I had this all set up, played out pretty well. We've been watching to see if this holds right here, if this was going to hold the this critical area right here, simply because you just had on the 4-hour, check this out, you have a bear cross, a second bear cross with the 1020, you had a bear cross with the 7 and the 50, so you got a double bear cross on your 4-hour chart. I'm going to run this over to the 12-hour chart here, and there we go. There you had this huge spiking shooting star candle right here. This didn't quite top out perfectly like a shooting star. I would have liked this better if it didn't have this little wick on the bottom here. But this did play out pretty well like the leading diagonal. So let's just go. We're going to kind of zip through our timelines right here, kind of get an idea of what is going on. Going to remove my RSI. Right, not seeing anything here that developed on the 12-hour. Okay, let's pull this over to the daily. There's the daily, just a wicked candle. Now, I gotta tell you guys, this candle right here to me is not bearish. Okay, this number 2 candle is not a bear candle to me. All right, this is a bull candle also. This candle can go both ways right here. So you guys got to be very careful that this daily candle, and I'm actually going to get over here and label this thing. I know it looks super wicked, but I don't like this. This is not a really good candle for me in this position right here. Now, I don't think we could have gotten a good candle right here. Now this is super close. If this would have closed off that little tiny shadow of a wick, I might have liked this a little bit better, but I don't like this daily candle. So I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say, I don't like the daily candle. All right, this is 50-50 on a bull bear candle, right? So I am not tickled pink about this daily candle right here. All right, so this did not help me, right? The second thing is we kind of started trading at the top of this candle right here, right? So we started trading at the top of this candle. I would have preferred that this got all the way down and made like a real shooting star, like a doji, like a gravestone doji candle, and then started lower. Now, until this one starts trading below this, I'm not really going to feel squishy about this position, right? I'm not going to get all overly excited. Now, I still had this possibility that this got up to my target. Now, it did hit my target bubble. You guys saw that it hit my target bubble, but I still thought this could have got a little bit higher up here, And I'm not going to take this off the table right now. I'm still not going to peel this high off the table because I see this is still possible. I want to see this start trading below. I want to see the 6100 area give up. I want to break below the 6100 area, and at that point we'll start talking about it. Okay, we'll start seeing, all right, this is going down. I think we're still running the 2-day candle, and And there's so our 3-day candle is just nuts. Just nuts. I mean, this 3-day candle is just crazy. And I think we have one more day. Chon, do we have one more day in the 3-day candle? Do you know? Chon, you there? So this
Let's
3-day
take a look.
yeah, this 3-day candle is just nuts. And once again, this doesn't help me. I don't have a good setup for this. This is not bull nor bearish setup for me. I don't have a good setup that I can say, hey, this is going to be an easy setup. So here you go. We're down here.
This is day 1 of 3, I believe.
This is a brand new candle? No, it can't be a brand new candle. It's
14.
it's huge because it went up and down. So it's got to be tomorrow, maybe, right? Yeah, it's got to be tomorrow.
14, 15. So yeah, it was. This is day right. This is day 2. We're 16 minutes into day 2 of this.
Got it. Okay, so we have one more day of this, and honestly, this is a really tough candle to play. Like it's making this reverse expanding wedge pattern on the higher timeline, right? Let's pull this down. You kind of got this almost a flat top, and you kind of almost got a flat top here, and then a descending lower wedge right there, right? Which, once again, this is a tough area to play. I'm not confident in any trades right here. And let's pull this out. Yeah, I'm gonna run down to this. So I don't see any bearish crosses. I see nothing. Anything approaching on the 3-day. So on the 3-day, you're going to have this 7 cross. So you did get this 7. The last candle, you got the 7 and the 50. And at 7 and 30, this did play out. So this probably is what held this candle down from really taking off right there. And this will cross. You will get the 7 and the 100 that's going to cross as soon as that's over. As soon as this 3-day candle's over in 24 hours, you will get a cross there. 12-hour, nothing. 6-hour, bull cross possible. Oh, no, look, we're underneath this. So we're underneath. So this would end up being a bearish cross here if we can hold this position. If we can hold below 62.80, we're going to get a bear cross. Still a long way to go. Still, it came down here, tested the 10, pop back up. Look, it's squeezed between the 10 and the 20 MA, and you've got this possible bearish cross above it. Still a long way to go. Pull us down to the 4-hour. Now you do have this bear cross on the 4-hour, and you kind of had a nothing burger between the 10 and the 20 right there. So it crossed right at the price section. I'm not sure how that will actually play out because it was actually touching it. All right, and I want to bring up a couple of my other charts over here. Let me bring this one up. All right, so here is here's the chart that I actually did for the members today. You'll see that this chart basically shows you, this is the 12-hour. This shows you all of the Kumo twists that happened, the bearish Kumo twists. You got one that was super close right here. Then here's another one right here, and then here's another one right here, right? So we've got all these bearish twists lined up, right? And you can see that where these all kind of played out. Now we got way up here, and look at I was watching this. See, I pointed out I put this. I said, watch out for the pink zone, and about 6 members were like, "What the hell's a pink zone?" Right? And I was talking about these pink boxes. So I had squared off these pink boxes. Now let's show you what happened last time we came up, touched the exact same area, right? And this was this particular fall right here. Right, so that was this particular fall. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just bring in an RSI. I want to just see RSI. Let's bring an RSI chart in here. And I'm going to make this orange. I just want to kind of get a comparison where the RSI was last time this fell out. All right, so here you go. So really close into the range, right? So this is it. So we're kind of real close, and I'm going to label this pink. Oh, close. So you can see that here this came up, touched, and then this was a huge dump, absolutely insane dump. We came up, poked the Tekken, so we just tickled the Tekken, say that 3 times fast, and then you see we came up, tickled the Tekken here again, and made a very bearish candle on the 12-hour for us to close. You'll see we got rejected off of this. Now, if this follows suit, and this plays out like this candle, you could see a big drop. Now you take a look, your RSI looks like it's trying to dump down. You've also got the RSI over here that fell out. You've got a lot of correlating factors that look very similar to one another in all of these charts. And let's go over here. I kind of want to see this candle. This wasn't a very bearish candle. Is it a tweezer top? This is a tweezer top right here. This is hard to make out right there. So this looks like a possible tweezer-ish top style candle that played out at the top. Then you had the big dump right there. And so this did get, now the other thing that I noticed when I was looking at this is you see this top line right here, the Tekken line, the blue Tekken line. Now we got all the way up. We're very, very close to the tippy top of that Tekken line, and then we dumped out, right? So here we broke through. Now this is why I put in this line, the 6709. It should actually be a little higher. So there you go, 6742. This was my top line here. You know, I didn't think we were going to get up here because like this one didn't get all the way up here. I didn't think we were going to get all the way up here with this one, and we did fall out. I was originally thinking that this was this double Tekken break area where you have 1 2 1 2, and it's before another fallout. But this is cooking up to look a little bit more like this Tickle Tekken area. Tickle Tekken? Yeah, Tickle Tekken area. So it's looking like the Tickle Tekken area is a possibility here. We're gonna find out. Now this did take a couple candles to play out before it dumped all the way down there to the bottom. We're just going to have to see what happens. Now, I wish this would have been just a little bit higher, and then would have fallen down here. Now, here's my 2-3-2 chart. You see the 1 2 3 humps, 1 2 humps, 1 2 humps, 1 2 3, 1 2, 1 2 3. 1 2 3 1 2, and you can go along and you can count all of how many peaks were inside of here, and that's how I kind of came up with this 2-3 bear bull count on the Stoke RSI. We'll see if this plays out. I mean, it could be something new I discovered, and it could be a new thing, but this is going to have to drop all the way down. This is going to have to get rejected and come all the way back down here and test. If it did just like this pink area, it needs to come down here and test again the lows of, get all the way down here to like 8 to 9 range. If this does dump all the way down to 8 to 9 range, we'll know we're on to something, okay? If this does shoot back up, we're going to know that this is, we're going to know I suck, okay? But I will also then be looking at this to possibly be a double break here, just like this is, right? So break once, break twice, break once, break twice. Now, the other thing I've noticed is this has kind of gotten weaker. So if you go all the way back here and you look at the Tekken line all the way back here, you can see that when we do these double breaks, there was a lot more velocity here, right? A lot more velocity here. Like here was your top Tekken line. I would have looked at this one or this one, and this, you had some massive breaks. A lot more market enthusiasm back here I felt was going on. People were just in denial that this was going down and probably looking at this as just a wave 4 down to a possible wave 3 to 50,000. But that just didn't play out. So then you got the double touch down here again, broke through the Tekken line a second time, and you got and this is something we want to watch, because you do get this double top here. If this does double top out on us, it is something we can watch for. We can watch for this double top, and you can see it play out on the Stoke RSI. Now you can also see this play out when it does it on the here, I'll show you over here on the just the regular All right, pull this off. And, oh, it's not this one. It is, I think this one. Yep, here we go. And 12 hours. All right. So here you go. You can clearly see how this plays out also on your RSI and your 7 MA, right? So it plays out on the 7 MA. Now here this area is, right? This is kind of this kiss area where we came up and kissed the Tekken right here, and then tickled the Tekken and then fell out, right? So we went through the 7, never touched the 30. Okay, now if you look down here, we pierced the 7, didn't touch the 30, right? Now this was my original line right here. If you go back to a few days ago, this was my top line. We'll see if this holds. I might be good, right? Now, if this is a double breakthrough, which it could be, look, this actually kind of looks like a double breakthrough here. Boy, that sure does. Let me see. Let me bring this to the front. Yeah, that sure looks like a double breakthrough right there. Right, that looks like a double pierce of that line. And for sure, it sure does. So this would be, see, this correlates a little more with this right here. Okay, well, I'm going to have to watch this. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. Now, if this is a dead cat bounce like they did off the 7, and you got the same thing right here off the 6,000 line, you got these dead cat bounces. They happen every time. This could range still in, it could move sideways in this area still, and then before falling out, right? So this is still a possibility. So I had always said, if this comes up, breaks up like this is actually worse than if this would have just broken down and then broken up, because I feel if we would have broken down and broken up, we would be in a lot better shape. I said breaking up like this is more bearish, right? Because this had to reset. We actually are resetting the indicators to fall further, and we could fall deeper here down to the 52 target pretty easy. Okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at the bubble chart. Man, these bubble charts, look, white upward bull break. Denied, right? Denied. So this called it. So we called some long scalps in the both of these white upward breaks. We called both of these in the members chat. We had a bunch of members pulling some long scalps. They all did pretty good with it. Some did, 9%. They were doing pretty good with these long scalps. Now this totally did get rejected. Let's see if this will trail all the way back down. It is possible. This really didn't land on us. So this is a brown zone right here and a red zone. I want to see how this plays out. This might not. Now, I'm telling you guys, I'm warning everyone, okay? I'm still 50-50 here that this doesn't just go, doesn't take one more run up. I'm not completely, because of this candle, because of this stupid candle right here, I'm just not 100% in any trade right here. I would like to see this break lower than 6,100. You get down here and you break lower than 6,100, then I would be opening more shorts, thinking this is lost. This support right here, you can see this solid support right here at 6,143. So you can see here, I'm going to drag this line up. There we go. I'm going to drag this line up. There's a lot of support right here, right? You got the wick, body. So if this line breaks right here, and we can break through both of these lines, I would be looking at opening up more shorts, right? I am in a short from up here at 6,400. I can share that with you guys. I did open a short up here in the 6,400. I was sleeping, or I would have opened one up here at 6,600. I suck. And let's just kind of see how this plays out. I would feel a lot better if I was in my short. I would have caught this while I was sleeping for the very short amount of time. I got one more chart I want to go over. I want to look at this. Here's our bubble chart. Now, this thing has not rolled over. This is not giving us an indication that it's going to roll over yet. you're going to have a really drastic price drop in order for this thing to roll back over. And that's pretty much what I got. Cheds, you ready, buddy?
Jonas.
Chonis. We've been talking about Ched today. All right, go for it. You're up. You're up, man.
Hey guys. All right. Hey. All right. Hey, thanks for having me tonight, Vamp. Much appreciated. Hello to everybody in the chat room tonight. 205 of our closest friends. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of follow up on your excellent TA and analysis there, because today's price action was just amazing. We talk about the boring times of Bitcoin when we have just sideways price action. Well, this is not what we had the past basically 24, 48 hours here. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of why we stopped where we stopped, and then we can kind of talk about where we might be going. So I count 5 waves here as this really nice 5-wave impulse wave up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where 4 stayed above 1, and where 3 was our longest wave. And what we tracked here was when wave 5 started right here at 62.81 and extended, where was it basically pointing to? Since I was assuming that our wave 3 here was going to be our longest, I would be targeting an area somewhere kind of in our golden ratio, our golden pocket, that puts us right between, the 61.8 area and as high as our 78.6 area there. And we, nailed it right there on this wick. We got a little higher than 61.8 and just a little bit lower than 78.6. And this is an area here where a lot of traders were looking to take profit, because they also were counting this as a 5-wave impulse wave up here. So that combined with our middle channel here, which we have seen our resistance up here, our support here, and then get broken, came back to retest, broke through again, held, and then once again our middle channel resistance line was acting pretty strong to repel the price. One more indicator that also showed me that we would kind of hit strong resistance in this area was our Bollinger Bands, where you see on a 4-hour chart, this is actually the first time we actually were able to break above our upper BB in pretty much recent memory here in the 4-hour chart. I don't see any example of it. You see here how it was rejected right at our line there, but you see here how we actually were able to break through bullishly, and that break there was a sign of a move I call outside of the standard deviation, where you're actually outside of an area where the price should be. And then normally when that happens, you have a big pullback, whether it's an overbought situation like it is here, or an oversold situation like we clearly see here. Once the lower BB was broken, the price did not like that, and it pulled it right back in until it could find it as support. So we've come full cycle here. We touched our lower BB, we found resistance in our middle BB, we were able to break through it, got up to our upper BB, touched it and broke through it. Very firm rejection, our shooting star candle on our 4-hour chart. And now once we broke through our middle BB, you can see currently, like right now to the penny, our price is holding it as support, which is encouraging. Now we're only a half hour into this 4-hour candle here, so I don't have enough information yet to really make a determination of how this will play out. Give me several more hours for this to play out before we can kind of see, or we kind of put some sort of support and maintain our middle Bollinger channel support on our 4-hour, which is a high enough time frame, or is this going to act as very strong resistance? And we don't want that to happen, because we knew where that can take us, which would be another test of our lower BB there. I want to bring back my fibs here for a second and talk a little bit about where we could be going here. So we know where we topped off, and from a fib retracement from our very bottom here to our very top here, you see we held our support. So we actually held support currently at our 55 Fibonacci level there, which is literally, it held it right on the money there, give or take a few dollars depending upon which exchange you're using. So again, there's healthiness to this being able to hold support on a retrace of 55. Now remember, we can still retrace basically as low as 78.6%, or somewhere a little bit above 6,000, and kind of still be in a range here where we could scoop up again and go back higher. I really want to hold this lower channel support here, because this channel has been determinant basically at what price the Bitcoin can go. And if we break again, like this happened here, I don't see we can have one more time, to move up. I would see this as very bearish if this channel is unable to hold, because then once again, it would basically be created as resistance. So we can still definitely go lower and still kind of keep our slight bullish momentum intact. Basically, we can go even a few $100s lower. As long as we're holding above 6K, this can still play out and we can still try and put another bullish push higher. The problem is we kept talking about how many times are you going to basically touch the 6K area before it finally fails. And we talk about how the exchanges, how the miners, they really want to defend this area with vehemence. And we've seen all these transfers of Bitcoin into BitMEX and whatnot. And we're trying to determine, is this somebody getting ready to take a super dump in coins, or is there actually some sort of a load up situation there? Along with this, and our RSI, which you've spoken about, we're definitely seeing. It was great to get above 50 in our 4-hour RSI, but look where we are right now. We're flirting once again with that sub 50 range, and as long as we can hold above 50, that basically can induce continued bullish momentum here. But right now we've broken through it. Again, this is still early in this particular candle. This has more time to play out, but I'd like to see this hold above 50. Frankly, I wanted to see it hold above this support line, which it was unable to. We also see our stochastics here has definitely turned bearish. We have both indicators falling lower here. And it is notable that we were not even able, even in that nice bullish move, to get a top off at 100% there. We're only a top off at 95, showing a little bit more weakness in this bullish move compared to others in the past there. Our MACD is slowly climbing higher. We had a little bull cross there. We're still in the negative here. We see where we want to get to. We see what a bullish MACD can look like, and we see we're just not there yet. And it's very possible that this zero line could actually act as strong resistance if we're actually able to get back up there and test it. So a lot of kind of mixed signals in the daily chart. Nasty wick here, basically could have trapped a lot of traders there, thinking this was going to move higher. We have 3 areas here of major resistance, all of them acting in conjunction. We're definitely able to hold the price down. I want to mention one more of my indicators here. I like to use the EMA 12, the EMA 26. I'm looking for a bull cross here, and even on the 4-hour, with this really nice bullish move, we see how our 2 indicators have not crossed bullishly yet. They are actually still in a bearish cross from way back here that has not changed. So we have no bullishness in our EMA 4-hour just because the price was unable to get just a little bit higher there and create some sort of a bull cross. So we're very close here. This can be worrisome because a declining price could then spread out our EMAs once again, which would take a much larger move to bring them back. And remember, a bull cross can add additional momentum to bring it higher. We also see our EMA 55 on our 4-hour is also acting very strong resistance. This break here was a bull trap. You see we have several wicks that are still unable to break through. So a break above and a close, especially on our 4-hour chart, would be needed.
Nice. You there?
Yep.
Oh,
there we go. So, yep. And just one more thing real quickly I want to talk about was our Bitcoin shorts here. A lot of people are looking for some that squeeze we had seen in April. Now, I've been watching this area very closely because we're getting really close to our gap fill area here that was created by our really big short squeeze we had back in April. And as you see, and as I talked about a lot on Twitter, gaps in price action on the chart more than likely always get filled. It's a pretty big one here. So what that means is the price of the shorts literally has to touch this green line here, which would complete the gap. Now that the price has gotten to 36,000 contracts, I can actually make this gap line a lot smaller to there, but we still have this little gap right here. So I still expect the shorts, which are definitely taking some off the table here, to ramp back up again and try and make a second attempt at that gap fill, as well as potentially go as high as our all-time high area here we had back in April. Now, something like that could definitely induce some sort of a short squeeze. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think the shorts are too overly leveraged yet. And you see this broadening, very steep ascending wedge here, if you will, that is and we can still fall back into this area here and touch this line of support and still have this bullish upward trend of our shorts, which would basically add additional bearish sentiment to Bitcoin. So we're very close to that gap fill there, and we're very close to getting our shorts definitely rising a lot higher here. And our longs are just doing butt kiss right now. They're not even looking to get some big moves here. Even this move we had today definitely stopped some of the bleeding, but you see how of a capitulation we have going on here. So we don't have a lot of kind of bullish momentum or even kind of market sentiment right now in our longs about taking out long contracts at this moment as the shorts continue to rise, putting downward pressure. And then, of course, the overall Bitcoin chart itself, as we continue to flirt with this 6,000 area, just keeps this whole situation a lot more ominous. And because it doesn't take a lot of big whale money to really push this market one way or the other, it wouldn't take much for this thing to completely collapse, especially if the 5,900 area is unable to hold. I assume that test of 5,750, the very first time we do test that, which was our lows back here, would hold at some for some additional test, because this is a major area of support, has not been tested yet on this retrace. But if we do hold our 5750 area, I think it will only be temporary, and I expect definitely some continual bearishness. So I'm only seeing how long the exchanges and the miners can continuously defend our 6K price here. So it's a wicked sell-off here and a really nasty wick here. As long as we hold this $6,200 area here, we can definitely kind of move up ahead here and basically say, okay, potentially this is a longer wave one. We're pulling back on our wave two here. As I said before, a 786 pullback can still put us around $60,050 and still allow us to trickle back up and put potentially a wave three in for this longer pattern to play out. But if we start getting back to our 6K area here, I would definitely put that a lot into doubt.
Yeah, and speaking about that, I want to guys show you guys. I'm going to take you over into the members area real quick and show you guys some of the stuff that we have been tracking. Where's it at? Where's it at? Check out some of these orders that were coming in on the order book. 10,000 BTC. This is earlier. This is at a little after noon today. Then we tried this again. And then someone put up a really crazy, look at this, 22,000 BTC. So there's a lot of whales out there playing a lot of whale games, right? A lot of whales playing some serious whale games out there. 22,000 BTC. That's pretty damn nuts right there. Right? These are whale games that are being played. Now, are these getting soaked up? Are these orders getting soaked up or not? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if these orders are getting sucked up. But we are tracking these, so our members are in the chat. You guys can see that we do track these crazy. We're watching these walls get thrown up. So it's all, one thing we're doing, we're watching these walls. These help us determine support and resistance in different areas. So we're constantly watching this kind of stuff. We got a bunch of great members. They're putting up a bunch of great content. And just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, let's bring this back over. So let's run down. So we're just going to run down. Here's our shorts. Here's my short chart right here. So I do have my short chart. Now, I want you guys to also be aware that if this does dump, there's two different ways that shorts and short RSI can drop out. One is a sell-off. So this was a sell-off, people taking profit right here. This was in February. Look at this, is funny because people had pretty much sold out of their shorts right here, and then they just were afraid to buy in on the hardcore final drop, right, which was like the super money drop right there, right? So you can see that as this dropped and this just fell out, this fell out because the price basically just people just were like, they couldn't believe it. It just, the velocity of the fall was so fast. They're like, oh damn, I need to take my profits. And this was just a profit taking drop right here. Now this was the short squeeze, right? This is the short squeeze because a lot of people, I mean, we're way down right here. We were kind of skipping along the bottom. A lot of people thought this was finally just going to be the bee's knees, or we're going to go down to 5K. And this is where we got the short squeeze. Now, listen, at this point, people remember the short squeeze. It's just not going to happen again, right? People think we're going to get squeezed out. Listen, there's a lot of people who are ready this time. They have stop losses put in place. I mean, people are ready for a short squeeze. And if we did get a short squeeze, I think it would be a muted short squeeze. It would be a limited short squeeze, not like this massive 1,000-point run, 1,500-point run we had right here when we did get this short squeeze right here, right? I think it would be a very limited run if we did get it. Now, as you see down on my charts, I like to come down here and test this twice. For this to tell me we're out of this, right? And I still see the RSI on the daily coming back over and giving us one more little test. Now this would be a great indicator for me if this does come over, roll over and test here one more time, because then I would think, hey, we're going to get out of this. So there you go, one touch, two touch, and out, right? And then over here, we had one touch, two touch, and this was pretty much down here at the bottom area, right? Or you could count one touch, two touch, or one touch, two touch. So you had these two touches here, and this said, nope, I'm out. So I'm looking for a second touchdown here to tell me that we are out of this, right? Or we're going to get a wicked V like this, a big V like this, where it's going to go deep. And then that's another sign that we could look, you know, you're trying to catch the knife right there. But we're pretty high up here on the RSI. We're still in the danger zone. Our Stoke here, I did put this new line up here, so you do have this new green line where you see a lot of resistance. Now this line, you can probably throw another one down here, right here, and this stretches all the way back to there. And there you go. And you can see we have a lot, you know, you got one kiss, two kiss, and then this, you're right at it for the third one, right? Now, I am kind of expecting this to just one more time. Just give me one more. It doesn't have to drop that far, right? I'm not looking for this to drop that far, but I do think that this could drop out just one more time. Kind of like these drops over here. Here was your drop down, your RSI drop down, and then you see it came down here, and even look at this big one, this big run up, but this is more something like this right here for this last little. Now look at how this lines up pretty well. So there's your Stoke, and it goes up to that point. This is the same area on that pink bubble area, that little pink warning area I gave out to the members. So we are close. If we're not there right now, we are close to that area. Let's bring up Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash has just been taking it in the shorts. I did post this yesterday. We had a death cross right here on the daily with Bitcoin Cash. You know, not looking good. Now, this was a great close. This is kind of a good closeout to a candle. This, you know, this would have been sort of more of a bullish candle if it would have been down at the bottom. But we'll see if Bitcoin Cash can hold out right there. A lot of weakness in Bitcoin Cash, right? Just taking a beating. Here's our charts for that we had put up. So we came up, and so we're here. Didn't get up to, you know, I was hoping this would get up a little bit higher in our resistance area. We are on a red 9, so we're closing out a red 9, still on the 2-day. Look, on the daily, we came down, we hit an 8. Look at the little gap right there. So we did have a little bit of gap right here. Then we came up, we started a 4. We're on a brand new red 1. Now this red 1 I would look for. So here you go. You get the 4 candle reversal, right? 1 to 4 candles, and then you look for the next leg down. Still have this as my lower spot. We still have some lower movement I feel on Tron. I'm really, be careful trading Tron right now, okay? Be very careful. We need some good bullish news, and I really I love this coin. I would like to pick it up just a little bit cheaper because it is a great pump and dump coin. This was a good move. You know, you made some money on this move if you bought this bottom right here and pulled that up. EOS. So EOS came up, touched my first resistance level. It's trying to drop back out. It did get that same wicked candle. Now this is a 4-hour candle. Let's pull this back over. We're going to try to run this out to a daily. Okay, so here's our daily run. Same candle. I don't like this. I don't like this setup. Just not, I'm sorry, I don't like the setup. 2 wicked candles. Look at this, back to back candles. Now, if we had this kind of setup on BTC, I would be a lot more comfortable with pulling a short trade on BTC, because here you go. You kind of had, this is a bearish candle, a super bearish candle with this gravestone doji. Now this did start a 1, right? You started a 1 in the 12-hour, but this could quickly turn into a red one. This green 2 could turn into a red one really quick. Litecoin, Litecoin did come up, so I did think we were going to get a little lower on Litecoin. We're trying. This came down, hit my support perfectly, hit our target perfectly on Litecoin. We did get a bounce off. We did get a wicked, wicked reversal. I just want to kind of run through Litecoin real quick. Look, there is the weekly coming. Look at how close this weekly bear cross is. This thing will be just the dagger in the heart, I feel, of crypto, all crypto. I'm telling you, this is the one where I feel is gonna hurt us. And it wasn't the death cross on Bitcoin. I feel it's this death cross, this weekly death cross on Litecoin, that I feel is going to push us down and get us into the 30s with Litecoin. Down there, we'll have to reassess and take a look. So my targets for Litecoin are still down in the 30s. Ethereum. Ethereum did make a nice run up. It got this wick. I do not like this wick. I do not like this pattern. Great bullish candle. I'm 50-50. I can go either way. I can go high or low. I'm just going to sit out. Like, I don't like the trading environment on ETH or on BTC. Now on ETH, look over here on ETH, we have not started a green 1 yet. We're still going down. The daily has not flipped this over to a 1 yet, so I don't like that. All right, and I'm going to let Ched run through the alts with you guys. Ready, buddy?
Yep.
All right. Go for it. Oh. I kind of need you there. Hold on. And there you go.
Do you want me to start anywhere specific? Or
Anywhere you want to start, buddy. Yep, just go for it.
All right. Yeah, well, I want to start with Litecoin because, I mean, this one, Litecoin is like my white whale, I've been trying to figure it forever. I want to start with our 4-hour here and kind of look at to where we have actually found support here. Now, guys, you got to use your fibs. You got to add that to your trading TA repertoire, because if you're topping off here, look how on the money our 55 fib level held our price currently here. So back in this 4-hour candle
Ched,
here,
can you show them how you put your EMA, how
sure.
you put up that fib? Just so the people watching know how to put the fib on.
When you go to TradingView, and you have two options for Fibonacci's. Fibonacci retracement and have your trend-based Fibonacci extension. Now, the retrace, it actually can be used both ways. You can go your swing low to swing high. So you start at your very lowest area that you want to fib out. And remember, you can put these fibs anywhere. If you want to fib just this little area here of low to high, this little one here, there's no rules. You can put up many fibs as you want. We often see that on many charts. So basically, this is our 100. This is our 0. And then as we pull back, what we're doing here is we're rating, we're checking to see from a percentage of this entire move here how far coming back. So this line here represents a 23.6% pullback of this entire move. This one represents 38.2. And the reason we use these specific numbers, 23.6, 38.2. Now I have it in percentages here, but I can just as easily go to my indicators here and get rid of my percentages and get these to actual 0.382, 0.326, 0.55. These are Fibonacci levels, 0.618. Right in this area here, a little bit below 618 is kind of our golden pocket, and 786. Now, these are areas that we constantly see in charting that get tested at either support or resistance. We saw the price of Bitcoin here, how our wave 5 extension, right, topped off at right on our golden ratio here. So as we pull back, we're seeing our 55 is now basically acting as support. Now I'm going to do something slightly different here. I'm going to use my fib. I'm going to go the opposite way. And this is a different way to look at the same thing. We're basically looking at this as one big mountain climb, right? 0 is the bottom, 1 or 100 is the top. And then these lines here represent kind of an inverse. So if you get down to 236 here, then you're getting down to where you were only 23% up the way of the mountain. Now, these work both ways. You have to basically figure out what you want to use these for and how you want to set them up as indicators. And they're both valid in different points of the chart. Personally, I like to use this one as just my swing low to swing high. And then my Fibonacci extension, which is this guy right here, this can also be used in several different directions here. So let's just say we're going to call this wave 1, and I want to see how long, our wave 2 could potentially be based on the length of wave 1, which I know what that is. Now let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually see that 3, this is so cool, went exactly 100 and 23%. So basically, I can bring back my percentages here. And what this basically shows us is that this wave here, compared to the length of this space here from $49 to $53, went over a 1-to-1 ratio and then added 23.6% and a perfect top off there for our wave 3. So these are indicators that allow you to basically tell the future. You're saying, if I believe this is a wave 1, and I believe that we're going into our wave 3, then I'm going to target a extension of our wave 1 to a conservative 1, 2, 3. Now, if I wanted to be a little more ballsy, I wanted to go, I think wave 3 could go a little higher. I could have put a higher sell order in, but what we saw here is wave 3 topped out there. We had our wave 4 come down basically to here, then wave 5 is there. Now I can use my same extension to see how far wave 5 went based on our length here of wave 3. So basically I'm using wave 3 to here. I'm going back to where wave 4 ended, where wave 5 started, and then sure enough, we wicked out a little bit above our 78% area, which means we went high, but we didn't go longer than our wave 3, because the rule for Elliott say wave 3 is normally the longest and definitely not the shortest. So this all fits into our Fibonacci and Elliott wave rules, and I would have known to target this area here if I was convinced this was a 5-wave structure and I wanted to basically ride this 5th wave higher. I would have been targeting something less than 100%, but something around the 78.6, which definitely seems to be the fib level of the moment we see in price of Bitcoin and a bunch of the alts. So this is a great way where you can use Fibonacci at any kind of area in the price action here to get a sense of where you should be laddering your buys or laddering your sells or laddering your shorts or laddering your longs. It's all very important that you use that into your trading. Now, I can use something also very different where I use my extension and I can go down here and I can basically say, this is wave 1, this is wave 2. How far can wave 3, truly go? And basically what we saw is wave 3 went somewhere close to almost 300% of wave 1 here. So we have a very long and very extended, basically wave 3 here. If this is a little wave 4 bump, then we could be setting into wave 5. Now, let's say that is the case. Let's extrapolate as how low we can really go here. So I'm assuming this is 1, this is 2, so this is where 3 starts, and I'm going to say this is where 3 ended, and let's say hypothetically we've already topped off on wave 4. Now, wave 3 is very long, so I don't expect wave 5 to be longer than 3, and that is kind of scary, but based on how nasty the downtrend is, it could put areas anywhere from $49 again, all the way as low as $33, which would be our 61.8 percentage, to potentially as low as $27. This is all based on how long this wave 3 down could potentially be in the price of Litecoin. This only is valid if we basically put in a lower low basically here, which would basically say, okay, yes, we are definitely in some sort of our last wave 5 of this downtrend here. So this is a great way that TA people love to use our fibs both ways, on the way up and on the way down, in terms of telling us where we should ladder, always want to ladder, our buys and our sells if we're scalping long or if we're scalping short. We can look at Ethereum here, and we can basically do something very similar, but what we see here, and I do kind of like how this bottoms here, but I want to bring up something very important, which is our daily RSI on Ethereum. Now, we were back in an area where we had seen in April, where the daily RSI got down to
Hey,
17, and look
Chone,
at that.
Chone.
Yep.
How far back can you go on that? Can you pull that chart all the way back 2014?
Let me go
Scrunch it up.
to Bit.
It,
This is
what is
this is
that?
Coinbase. Yeah, it's Coinbase. Let
Oh,
me go
got
to
it.
like
Okay.
Bitfinex or something.
Yeah.
ATH
I
USD.
just want to see historically how far it goes
Sure,
back.
sure, sure. I think Bitfinex goes back farther. What the heck? Where'd I go? There we go. Bitfinex. There we go. Okay. So let's
Okay.
see on our daily RSI what really historical lows are. So basically, oh, let's only go back to 2016. I guess that makes sense. That's when Ethereum
Yeah,
kind of
it's
came.
probably
Yeah,
Ethereum
that
came
makes
out.
sense.
Yeah.
So we are really in pretty historic depth of RSI here. We
Yeah.
got as low as 21 back in November of 16. Our March lows. Now remember, we had a double tap here. So we had a lower RSI, we had a higher RSI, we had pretty much flat prices here. So we put in a higher low on our RSI and pretty much our same price level of our USD price held, even though we had a little lip there. So this is an area where historically we've actually had a decent
But pull
pop
pull that back up though. Pull that back up. The
with
chart
the
that
price.
compares price, because if you compare what the
We're
RSI
here.
is, and then look at that. So if you
We're
compare
here.
the two
Yeah, we're
bottoms,
here. And we're
wow.
here. So much lower price, same RSI. Now look how dead our stochastic is here. You see our stochastic back then actually had a little more life into it. This is very similar to what we were seeing with the Bitcoin stochastic, just like a drunken, very hungover, trying to stagger its way up. Every time it tries to make a little bullish move, kind of gets folded over. This has dead cat written all over it here. This was a great little bottom hammer here. I mean, I don't see this as really bullish right here. And again, a lot of this nasty Ethereum sell-off has to do with a lot of ICOs potentially just cashing out a lot of their only valuable asset they still kind of have left, which is all the Ethereum they basically raised in their ICOs here. So that will continue to put downward pressure on Ethereum. One last thing I do want to mention about Ethereum, and this basically just has to go with the overall parabolic move theory and how they always unwind. People, Ethereum, year and a half ago, okay, it was under $10. It went from $10 to $1,400. Just an amazing, epic, astronomical move, tremendous move. God help you if you didn't take profit. God help you if you held all the way down. I mean, these are amazing parabolic moves here, bigger, if you will, than the Bitcoin move, and almost kind of comparable, if you will, to some of that Litecoin move here. When you have a move that takes the price, how did that do that? Am I doing reverse there? When you have a move that takes the price so high there, let's see, try that one more time. I mean, look at that. Okay, 40,000% move. Okay, this unwind is still happening here. Now, the reason I feel that way is because we did not. The reason why we're kind of holding in this area time Ethereum spent in this $280 range here for months on end, $280 to $290 was a very stable area for Ethereum. A lot of price history here, and I wouldn't be surprised if our VPVR basically shows a lot of the money flow in Ethereum was in two spots. It was in this area here, and it was much, much, much lower, like
Wow.
$60 here. So we're going to find support here because of this history, because of this money flow, and because of this correction here that found strong support right a little above $200, which I kind of feel that's probably our next target there. If we are unable to hold this $200 area, that puts so much of this history. Remember, we're only talking about last May, talking about what, 14, 15 months ago. This is not a long time ago that this price was in this area here. There's nothing in this chart that says we have found any kind of a bottom. The only thing that shows a chance for some bullish momentum is mostly because how oversold some of our indicators are. Now, our MACD here is not really that oversold at all. We can see what oversold can be. Now, here's what's scary. We have our RSI back to where it was in this part of March, but our MACD is still much higher, which means we can go farther fall in our MACD, showing more room to fall here. I don't like how low our daily RSI is here. I would actually like this to go up a little bit more. It'd be hard to think, but definitely possible. This can go lower on a high time frame like the daily for, I guess I can call it a major coin to be this low, 18 on the RSI. I mean, this is really low. And if we get lower, I'd almost be thinking, God, this is just so crazy oversold based on the RSI there, but I want to go to even a higher time, such as our weekly, and maybe this will give us a little more of an understanding about what oversold really means, because we see from a weekly standpoint, this is where we could definitely fall to. And this was our low in November of 16 here, got to 25 on our weekly RSI here. We found some support configuration right around 30, which is definitely a major area of support you wouldn't want to fall through. But you see where we can go. So even though our daily RSI is showing very oversold, our weekly, from a historic standpoint, says we can definitely go a lot lower. That's really scary there. And that basically plays into a lot of the alts, where Ethereum, so goes a lot of our alts there. Some of our Coinbase coins, maybe our ZRXs, our BATs, our ADAs, our Lumens, they definitely had a little bit of a bounce action, working off of a slight Bitcoin bullishness or even a little bit of Bitcoin stability. But as Vamp pointed out, I think in last night's show, Bitcoin will suck the money back into itself if it does break bullish. And we've seen that time and time again. Bitcoin breaks bullish, the alts bleed. Bitcoin goes bearish, the alts bleed. The only time that Bitcoin stays stable in a bullish sentiment market is when we see the alt as a whole rise very nicely together. And then you see some have very nice gains, 10, 15, 20%, while Bitcoin puts in a 7% gain or something like that. So that's the only scenario where I can get a little bit bullish on the alts, is if we find in a bullish uptrend some stability in Bitcoin. And we're nowhere near classifying this as either a bullish uptrend or any kind of a stable moment right now in the price of Bitcoin. And I put a tweet out a couple weeks ago that I just want to briefly bring up one more time here, that basically asks the question, if you're holding alts or planning to hold your alt positions, ask yourself what the crypto market would look like with Bitcoin sub 5,000 or much lower, or Ethereum sub 5,000 or sub $150 or much lower. These VPFR indicators here show where most of the money that actually entered Bitcoin, that actually entered Ethereum, actually created here. So if you're bullish on some alts, if you're seeing there's some bullish divergence in some of the charts, especially the BTC pairings, keep that in mind. If Bitcoin drops $1,000, I don't care how bullish divergence that you see in your altcoins, they will depreciate as much. And that's where, if you're doing some flips in these alts, make sure you take your profits. Don't be greedy. A lot of people are trying to squeeze water out of a rock here when these things do move. But if you follow the chart and you play indicators that show oversold, that show areas of exhaustion in the selling, those are some good opportunities to take a quick scalp. The alts provide some of the best returns, but they also provide some of the most nasty bearish dumps, and much more so than Bitcoin. So, with great risk comes great reward, and that's kind of how the alts seem to treat a lot of people. I want to end on just one more here, if I could.
Hey,
Ethereum
Chone.
class. Sure. Yes.
So people were saying that the ETC, there was some kind of announcement for ETC on a Coinbase announcement. The 5 p.m. Coinbase consumer introduction for ETC. That's where.
Can I pull it up on Twitter here?
Yeah, it's on our chat right there.
Oh, okay.
It's
there. 5 p.m. Coinbase customer introduction. All right, cool. So yeah, that again is an example where a coin, an altcoin, which really has no business being bullish other than the fact it's being invited to the cool kids table on Coinbase, is what basically is finding stability here. Now, this is a very nice bottom hammer here with a really long wick there. And look how low we got. We got to basically $10 here. So this has been a great trade. This has been almost a 40% trade here in just 3 days. This was a really nice trade. So I definitely expect some pullback from this, a lot
Oh,
of news driven. And I'm always a little skeptical about how Coinbase chooses to announce some of this information here. A lot of that insider buying, people on the inside of Coinbase knew at Ethereum Classic, they knew when it was going to be listed. Basically, they knew this moment here was when Ethereum Classic was going to be listed on Coinbase, signalizing the top of the buy the rumor, sell the news situation here. So we definitely have a nice little pop here. And let's just kind of get a sense here, as to where we could be going here, because our next resistance level clearly is around 1490, 1465 there. I'm looking for a decent pullback on this. This was a 40% move in 3 days here. I would not buy in.
oh, lost you. Oh, wait, that's my internet.
Yep, stand by, everybody.
Yep, you're good. You're good. It's my
Okay.
internet that's
All
crappy.
right.
Why is my
So
internet
I
crappy?
wanted, you pay your bill this month?
Yeah, what the hell? No, I just disconnected. Piece of crap. Why is dude, I have 1 gig internet. Hold on. I just gotta reconnect.
All
Okay,
right.
we're back. We're back.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Comcast.
Hello, everybody. We are
Comcast.
back. Sorry about that. Test, test, test.
Comcast.
There we go. Comcast. All right. So I'm looking for a retrace here. I'm looking to see basically how far we can pull back from this move here. So you see, we just started a pullback here. I've been looking for some of these fib levels, the 236, the 328, maybe the 55, to basically show some support, and potentially this move here can continue. But remember, Bitcoin still runs the show. So I don't care how bullish your specific altcoin news is, Bitcoin will still determine this thing here. So it'll be interesting to see if they do choose to add another one, maybe ADA, maybe Lumen, maybe BAT, maybe Zcash, maybe ZRX. If it will do a very similar play out as Ethereum Classic did, where this was our basically announcement pump, basically our dump here. This was our last few days ramp up to the execution. And then so far, it's been a very nasty trade ever since with a very nice bounce here. So we're going to keep an eye on this one, because as long as news keeps coming out about it, it's definitely still in play. But overall, I'm still very bearish on this one, just because it is an altcoin. And it had a terrific run from $1 to $40 on its
Yeah.
parabolic move there. So I have no doubt, similarly to the laws of the parabola and the basically unwinding of it where it could be, it also is putting in this kind of crazy head and shoulders here. I'm not going to draw it, because this would basically put the neckline to the headline at like
Whew.
-$20 there. So that's kind of irrelevant. But this can show from a pattern standpoint, it's very clear here. We have a very defined head. We have two very defined shoulders here. And this could definitely put some bearish momentum on the price here. It'd be very tough to see how this valuates back to our $18, $20 area here, where we topped off. Would take some serious momentum here. But we do see here our weekly candle so far is looking kind of decent. Still several days left for this to play out. Be curious to see if we can put in a really nice bottom hammer, or if we end up pulling back a lot and putting in some sort of a spinning top indecision.
Yeah, and let me bring over. I have my ETC charts, so here we go. So I did have the ETC chart. I was expecting a pullback, so we did come up into this resistance area. These were my targets. I still have ETC is going lower. This did go up substantially more, because if you look at some of my other calls on, like, where is it? Where's Ethereum at? There you go. You see, I came up to the first target, but I had a second target also. So look, Ethereum could not get it up. Couldn't get it up to that second target. Same thing here with I had a second target also for Litecoin, and you do see that ETC did hit that second target pretty easily too. I mean, that was a nice run up. Now you did flip over to a green 1 on ETC, so I do like to get This could get a little sideways action here before it does
Mm.
fall out. But let's see what happens. Like Chone says, there's a lot of resistance right above there. I do kind of see. I mean, we're right there at a heavy resistance area. So if I looked back historically, I would kind of drop a line, maybe right in there ish, right? So that would be another line right there for me that would possibly be tested. But this came up, hit my target perfect. It did bounce down. Now, let's just give I just kind of want to give everybody like a final little going, where we think the possibility is right here. I'm just going to throw this up. So I'm still saying I don't like the daily candle. I would like to see the 6,200 support get broken. I would feel much better if the 62 did get broken right here, and not just broken a little bit, but substantially. I actually would love to see this get down to the 6,100 area. Now, I feel once it breaks this, you see how this is at wave 5 that Chone has this as a wave 5 up here. This would then invalidate this as a possible some kind of a wicked wave 4 or a 5 up. Now, there's also another way to look at this, and I'm going to draw this out. All right, do not judge me. I am not an Elliott wave guy, right?
And it's
Boom.
valid too because of how small wave 2 was. Wave 4 can definitely be a lot drawn out.
Yeah, so, you can have something like this right here, maybe-ish, right? To where you get an ABC that played out right here. Now, this could come up more as a flat and come up right here, like a flat right there. But this is hard to play out because look at how this descending formation right here is, right? So it's hard to get away. Where did you get your wave 5 out of this? Is the challenge. Where did you come down and find your wave 5? Because this is an absolute mess. This is why, when I went over, I said, oh, well, this looks like a leading expanding diagonal. And rather than a simple ABC pattern, which would have played out a lot better if we would have just came down to here, like this would have been down, maybe wave 4, wave 3, this would have been 4 and then 5, right? And then, that would have been, or this would have been the end of wave 3, and then this would have been 4 and this would have been 5, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this could possibly be the end of your wave 5. If this is your ABC up, if this is your wave 5 wave up, I'll be looking for a wave down, then another wave up here, possibly to complete some kind of an ABC if this was your wave, the end of your wave 5. So a little tougher for me to call this. I mean, it just looks so dead on as a leading expanding diagonal. And I see there's a lot of market down pressure. There's more downward pressure on the market right now, I feel, than is pretty standard. Now, just like Chone says, this has to hold because if this gets down here and this breaks this 6K, it completely invalidates any ABC.
Yep.
Right? Because this would then violate your 786 range, right?
Yep. Yep.
Right? So this would come down here and violate. So what I want to do is I want to come down here. I'm just going to throw this down here and that's just and this would be ABC and validated. Nope. And Jesus, there we go. Invalidated. Right? So I would see this as an ABC invalidated if it broke this level right here. Right? So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to leave this on there just in case. just in case. And then, this is something, so you get a little more like maybe this, and then something like this. And now with this second target is going to be club, man. So you do something like that. We'd have to see now. What we'd have to do is, as soon as this came up, if this did bounce here, right? If this did hold and you get the bounce up here, you're going to be looking to see how big this wave 1 is right here, and then you can go ahead and put your wave 1 and 2 in, and you'll be able to kind of get a good idea of how high we could go there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna let Chone go ahead, Chone. So this is my kind of like, I've got two options here. So I'm gonna list this, right. So one is the one is our leading expanding. Right, and this is, it needs to break the 6K, right? But I think if, man, I think breaking 6,200, break 6,200, and or even 6,240-ish, right? 6,240, 6,220. I would maybe pick up a scalp, a short scalp. And and then if this did break here, at least you could stick a trailing stop loss on this. So if it did punch through, you were in up here. Now if you start your short trade right here, and it starts right here, and you start trailing this, I would just stick my stop loss right where I got into the trade right here, right? I would just be like, all right. So I'd start my short trade, and then I would put my stop loss at my trade level. Just in case it did pop back up, because this could come down and boom, you're going to do an A, B, C, right? You're going to do an A, B, C if this does something like that. But if not, I mean, this thing could just fall right through. This thing could, because I don't see an A, B in here. I mean, this could be a 1, 2. I don't see a 1, 2, 3. This is a tougher trade area right here. So then I would just set the stop level at trade level. So I just stop it at break even. So you wouldn't lose any money except for you wouldn't set stop at trade level. And so this is break even. Number 2, my second option would be an ABC. We are in wave B. Still. Okay. So these are my two options right here to what I see the possibilities are. All right. And this is, see, I don't see anything bullish nor bearish, nor I don't like this setup here. Okay, Chon, go for it, brother. What do you think?
Just to kind of piggyback on that, I can expand on, let's play a game of what if here. What if we are able to find some support and move higher, and either basically a nice ABC up, or basically beginning some sort of a wave 3 of a larger bounce here, where this is wave 1, where we're basically still in wave 2. Now we're watching the retrace of wave 2, currently finding support at our 55, and we can go, I mean, in theory, we can go as low as $58.78 and 58.78.85. We can go 99.9% all the way down here, and then have a huge wave 3 bounce and still technically be valid. But I don't think this market has the balls to play chicken like that. So I'd be more looking for, we could get as low as something that has been reasonably being used as support, and that's basically our 61.8 all the way down to our 78.6. So if we get down here on some wicks, I'd be looking for people trying to basically play that trade, because this goes into that area here where you like to see support on some sort of a retrace. So let's play what if. Let's play the fact that we know this is wave one, and let's say wave two does retrace to 78%. What kind of an extension of wave three can we get based on wave one? Now, let's just say we just keep it simple and go straight for a 1-to-1 ratio. Then our target would be, drum roll, 67 point $6,800 basically, which would be a perfect 1-to-1 ratio of the length of this wave, which we know what it is. That's only based is if we actually get down to $6,038 and actually start to climb higher. That would be my first target if we actually do hit that. And what that means really is if we kind of can break through these clusters, and especially if we can break through 6625, which is where we topped off here, I would definitely target this area as our first stop. Then we can start talking about, if it's an actual 5-waver, we can start talking about a truer wave 3, which would be longer than our wave 1 here. And now we can talk about extensions, 1, 2, 3, 161, and possibly higher. And that could bring us back to our $7,200 area. Only reason I bring that up is because we talked about the gap that almost got filled in the Bitcoin shorts. I still have these two gaps here in the Bitcoin futures, the CME futures, okay? One's at $6,800. Other one goes as high as $7,200. So there's another case to be made for something like that. I just happened to see here while I look at this just for the first time that there is a possibility here. I just happened to notice this here, that this is kind of setting up to be some potential sort of inverse head and shoulders here on our futures here. So I'm going to watch that to see how this may play out here, which actually shows some bearishness to form our right shoulder, but another support is found above our headline, potentially back to our left shoulder, which interestingly enough found support right around 6050 to 6100, which is exactly where our 78%, wherever it is, retrace level was.
Yeah,
So
you're
there's another
right.
there's another
Yeah.
example here by using our two different Bitcoin charts that for some reason another touch of this area of 60,000, 6,050 G's to 600 is a support area. And I actually would be very interesting to see if we can get down there quicker with some more additional red candles and not kind of flutter around here. I would definitely want to see what kind of price action, because if we fall quickly here, I'd actually like to see that versus a slow bleed. But there's a lot of signs there. We've just kind of found two of them pointing to a support area here if the price does fall back to that. And
Yeah,
that's
that
interesting.
that wick is kind of tough. The way those wick
Yeah,
out right there, the top
yeah,
wicks, that on the top
yep.
side right there, that's a little. Oh, that's perfect. What timeline? What's a 4 hour? Yeah, I'm on my 4 hour.
One bit stamp.
Yeah, mine is not as good as yours. Yeah, mine is definitely not as good as yours.
And I think a lot of people on Twitter. I was one of those guys. I'm like, where are the people coming up with these forward price estimates as to where they feel the price could move? And it's all based on the fib extensions here that help us as traders know what prices we want to target. If we're leaning a certain way, bullish or bearish, this works both ways. If you're longing or shorting, and knows where you're able to ladder your buys. Because if I did want to scoop up some buys here at 786 and potentially play a bounce there. Again, a lot of it depends on how we get down there. But if that were the case, then I would basically want to layer my buys somewhere a little bit above it, and then larger ones potentially a little bit below it to catch kind of a nasty break wick that pulls up quickly. That's how I would want to do that if I wanted a ladder in this area here. But a lot of that laddering will be determined, I feel, by how we get there. A quicker fall would actually make me feel we would find a bounce here, a kind of a slow sideways price action, and then I start to lose confidence in this whole structure as a whole.
Got it. Okay, I'm actually saving that one myself. Are you there? You there, Chun?
Hmm.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I'm actually saving that one. Sorry, saving charts. Saving charts. Yeah. Gotta put them in the
And
gotta
again, it
put them
just
in the
leads
members
to the
area.
point where there's times in the chart that seem clear and seem to offer a better risk versus reward, and there are times that I feel like these here, just because of how close we are to this really important $6,000 area. I felt when we were in the $7,000 area, or the $8,000 area, there was a lot more room to play, be volatile, not scare the exchanges too much, still have enough overall market structure and market cap being over 300 billion, over 250 billion. Now we're flirting with a Bitcoin of under 100 billion. We're flirting with a of sub two. These are areas here where we've not been in 2018, and it's actually where we were in 2017, the first part of it. So it's a tremendous pullback. It's a tremendous almost $700 billion from the peak. We are off, I believe. So that's a lot of money that is no longer in crypto, and who's to say we've actually hit the bottom yet either? But in these moves, there's opportunity. Moves, there's trading opportunities, and that's what we like to watch for.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Let's see here. Listen, we're gonna take one or two more questions. We'll take one or two questions, and we're gonna be done here. We're trying to get these videos done quicker. Man, the last couple have been like super long. I mean, I know it's great information for you guys, but it's a lot to watch. So go ahead if you guys got any questions. I'll take any questions you guys got.
Worst case too.
And
It's small.
nobody? Bueller, Bueller, Bueller. All right, no
Let's see here.
questions.
Let me go back.
Oh, I love
I
it.
think we gave him a lot of.
Yeah, I think we give a lot of information. All right, everybody, listen. We got 63 likes on the video. Let's get out there. Let's give us some love. 64. Come on, we got 165 people watching. Thank you guys so much, man. We really appreciate all you being here. Really excited about all the upcoming amazingness that we have going on. Get over here and grab yourself a Chone package and come on and join us. If you guys get over here and join us in our, get over here and join us. You guys really, it's just being in our group. You guys can ask our members. You know what? There's so much support. There's so much communication. I mean, we're on. Our calls are absolutely beastly. I mean, guys, come on, man. Our calls are great. We give you amazing information. It's a lot better than going on your own. And now you've got the combo. You've got Until 1 Mil in his beast indicator. You've got Chonis. You've got our live videos. You've got our call section, our signals channel. You guys have got me. You guys, there's so much in our channel. We're here to really help you guys make as much money as possible and to keep your head above the water in these dangerous times. All right, Chone, you want to say bye to everybody?
Yeah, thanks once again for everybody joining us this chat room. Listen, I'm excited to be part of this group of Discord group with Vamp, with Until 1 Mil, KK. I mean, this is just amazing group of guys. They're brilliant. They're excellent in TA. And I'm excited to bring my style, my content, my interaction to their great community of traders that they've grown. You got so many there, like thousands. So it's just amazing group of people. I'm excited to be a part of it. And learning and education is a big part of what I like to be involved in. So I'm looking forward to adding some great educational content to the chat room. I think that will be very beneficial for everybody there involved. So once again, I'm super excited, and thanks for tuning in tonight to everybody. I really appreciate it.
Yes, and from Vamp and Chone and all of us here at Until 1 Mil, please show us a little love. Stamp on that like button. Give it a little push. Only takes a second of your time for the hour to 2 hours that we spend giving you guys absolutely amazing information. Hit the subscribe button. We love nothing more than to see more subscribers join the channel. Listen, we're running this thing 24 hours a day for you guys to watch these live charts. We are the only ones in crypto doing this. Crypto pioneers. Right? We are the best. And the reason we're the best is because we work so hard, nonstop, day and night, updating these charts just for you guys. Okay? So for Vamp and the Chone, we are out.